Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do, and I got something good for you today. Let's get this thing started. Rightisms, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. I put a message in the story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in and receive them. We got a good thing going. I got something good for you. Let's go. Right Thinkers mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level. Ooh, we dealing with meditation now. That's how it's done. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is to get all right thinkers to know thyself. Right thinkers, your goal as a right thinker should be to know thyself. So we're on the same page. Let's do this. Right thinkers, know thyself. I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in to me. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not, is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. It's simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know, dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows, but knows not that they know, is spiritually asleep. Okay, I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know, oh, they're wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. I gave a little quick lesson. I'm going to finish up on that. The title was Introduction, or excuse me, no, it was Formal Meditation Practice and its effect on the mind. This lesson is going to be titled, right? Think let's talk about how to master meditating. Yep, how to master the art of meditation with daily practice. Again, let's talk about it. All right, let's go. I ended off at the last lesson explaining to you about the three C's. Concentration, extending concentration leads to cosmic consciousness, aka transcendental consciousness. But there's things that you have to do to make that happen. Let's talk about it. That's going to be the art of mastering meditation and thyself. The usual manner of progress in formal meditation, I gave you a breakdown of that in the last lesson, involves mainly concentration exercise. Well, what's that? No, thinking, using your brain for something other than a damn hat rack. Function. Your brain is meant to solve problems. Your brain is meant to do just that. All you had to do is exercise it. That's why they call it exercise. You're exercising the brain to do what? In the beginning, as a process, it's achieved what? The concentration practice focuses on concrete objects in the beginning, like with cars, you playing certain moves, but in a period of time, you start visualizing it here. Okay, that's when you get better. You don't need physical things. You're going to start learning how to get better. And what happened? And then you move to what? Abstract objects and ideas. Remember, you're trying to get control of what go through your head, aka your mind, your brain. And when it's in advanced stages, if I got a negative thought, y'all call it the devil. Okay, but a thought to say, you might want to do this. I'm not doing that. Back then, that thought came to my mind. I might act on it. And think about it when? After I what? Do something wrong. But the consequences you still got to pay. So controlling the thoughts will control the actions. Right thinking, right actions. So watch this. Perfect example. Where we at? You may practice concentrating on an object. Starting out again. I use my little a memorial over there to focus and pay attention. And Maya is my goddess of choice when I'm meditating. Okay. However, success towards what? Spiritual enlightenment will be enhanced how? If you use a spiritual icon, I just told you mine, my yacht, such as the image of a deity. Now, that means the deity of your choice, you're focusing on them, and then you put yourself into their aspect. Try to become like them, emulate them. They say you eat the gods. That means you learn about them, you understand them, and then you emulate them. That's how you become like them, metaphorically and physically. You can do things in the physical form to do just that, but it starts with this. There is, watch this, and there will be no longer, there's no longer, excuse me, there's no danger, excuse me, in using a name. Again, and form, if necessary, as a representation of that divine, as long what as it is understood by you that it is only what a symbol. We're dealing with symbology, so you need symbols to implement the teaching concepts. Watch this, which does not capture the totality of divine. The reason why God don't want graven images, we get caught up in the image. That's why He's hidden. You can't just no. Some things you need to do to get to God. The Wizard of Oz. Everybody was looking for something, and everything they were looking for that they looked outside themselves. Where was it at? In the end, they found that out. They had to go to the wizard to tell them that. I'm your wizard. I'm telling you, stop looking outside yourself. Look inside. Simple. Okay. A name and a form is useful. Why? Because in the beginning, I've been doing this over 10 years, so I'm not a beginner, but I remember it started out that way. Okay. And watch this. The mind is too weak in the beginning to what? To sustain concentration. Oh, you trying to sound weak minded? No. But if you're not practicing to control the mind, yeah, you are weak minded. Why? You got no control over it. When you concentrate on what which is abstract, you're putting yourself in a better predicament. As you progress in what? Your spiritual practice. That means you're practicing, listen to your higher self, aka spiritual discipline. Most people know it as self-discipline. Same thing. Holding yourself accountable. So however you want to view it, it's okay, but do it. You can call it whatever you want. Once you learn my philosophy, right? The philosophy is because I call it that. Once you learn it and manifest it for yourself, you can call it whatever you want. Be my guest, okay? Why? It don't change the philosophy, what you call it. That's why. So you will eventually move what? Towards abstract ideas, more positive and constant. And finally to what? You'll end up with the absence, ready for this, of all negative thoughts. How could you take the negative thoughts out your mind? Okay. Quick lesson by my man Alan White about the students asking the teacher about desire. He said, we suffer because we desire. But master, if I desire to stop desiring, ain't that desiring? He said, no, but in your mind, you probably think that. But to desire is to want something. You can fight off that. You get better. A lot of people, when they don't get what they desire, they're spoiled. So they get bratty, they get agitated, they get angry. Why? Because they're not getting what they want. Their desires are not being met. And most people live for what? Their desires. Moving on. When you get past their lower nature, you become a different person. Personally, I know that. And what's happened? Then you will move again beyond what? Now time and space. When I go into the meditative mode, I don't care what I'm there, what time is. Don't care. You in what they call the void or the emptiness, but you inside yourself mentally. You ain't went no. It's like going to sleep. You do the same thing, but now you're sleeping while you're awake, conceptually, something like that. Watch this. And now, when you get beyond time and space, as well as you ready for this, your ego itself, you have to get past me, I. That's who you are. And don't, oh, you destroy the ego. Hell no, you can't destroy your identity, who you are. So don't get caught up in those people who tell you spiritual. No, that ain't the way to go. You have to control the ego, conquer the ego, put the ego in the servitude position so that it works for you. And you got the best thing going. Okay. They tell you it ain't the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight, the dog. And when you can control that ego, you got a big dog in the fight. Trust me. Moving on, that's the concept. So you can use the ego. It ain't a bad thing unless it's running you. Moving on. That's the whole part about controlling the mind, putting the ego in check. It just said beyond time and space and your ego self. You want to get to your true self, your higher self. Hadoop. Watch this. When you reach this level, hell you go, you will now discover what? That you are a separate entity from your ego self in your body, senses, and feelings. That's why I tell you, when you're getting spiritually, you become better with your emotions, controlling your desires and your sexual pleasures and your feelings for certain things. They got to all be pushed aside. Why? It ain't about none of that. That's why. If you satisfying that, you satisfying yourself. When you rise above it, you satisfying your higher self. That's what they call it spiritual discipline. Physical discipline, you're going to do a whole bunch of stuff because the body will want this. You want to feel pleasures. Once you get past that, now you can be a better person. That's why. Most people are bad because of what their desires, be it sexual, physical, whatever, but their desires because they can't control them. That's an addiction. If something is driving you to do something that you know is wrong, you need to stop that. If you can't, you are addicted. Moving on. But this is why the mind needs to be exercised to do what? Its job to stay disciplined and focused. As above, so below. Moving on. So if you got upstairs working, if upstairs is the body's just saying what? You just all out of whack. Moving on. They work as one. That's harmony. Heart, mind, coherence. You're thinking right. You're feeling right. You're doing right. Everything is good. Life is good. It should be. Well, mine is. I can't speak for nobody. I only speak for me. Life is good. Moving on. Now, here, watch this. And when you get past your ego self, past the body senses and the emotions, as well as what? Now it is your adversities and even the prosperity. Be it good or bad, you will still be you. That's how being equilibrium, being balanced in all situations, you do the same thing. You maintain your cool and you check out what's the best options for you and you do them. Simple. Haphazardly, willy nilly, and just out emotions. If your mood is controlling you, the person who controls your mood is in control of you. And if you ain't that person, you're being led around by your mood, your egos, or your lower self, whatever it is that they control. You're not in control of you. Knowing thyself, mastering the art of meditating will put you in that predicament and you'll never be led around by your ego or your nonsense lower self again. Why? You raised above it. That's why. When the ego, the hawk or the falcon, when the weather get bad, all other birds go look for cover. They fly above it. That's what you should do. And they tell the story. The only bird dumb enough to mess with the falcon or the eagle is the blackbird, wouldn't it be? But he don't even worry about him. Why? When he jump on his back and start pecking at his head, the eagle just spread his wing and just elevate, ascend. And what happened? The blackbird can't handle the height. Ignorant people can't raise their consciousness, so they're gonna leave you alone. Moving on. Quick concept, quick lesson. Hope you got it. Now, where we at? How you, excuse me, here you will now discover and heretofore what? You ready for this? Unknown peace. Where? Within yourself. It's amazing how you feel so comfortable, so relaxed when you come out of your meditative state. I'm ready to start my day and can't nothing disturb the harmony that I have where? Within myself. Outside entities shouldn't be able to disturb your hotel. That means supreme peace. I'm getting better. I get a little lax every now and then. I catch myself. Whoa, my man. Whoa, yeah. So when I get mad, I say, "Whoa, don't let that. No. Calm it down." So I'm practicing when daily, just like you should be. It's a way of life. I can tell you, right? Thing of philosophy is not a religion. It's a way of life. The meditative lifestyle, again, a way of life. It's all about thinking. Sorry about that. I'm a head man. And what happens then? You will reach or discover within yourself unknown peace, which what? Well, you will now learn what to really relish and enjoy. Last week, I was hanging out with my grandkids. I was in my own world. Why? Because I'm just being part of their world. I just came into their world and just hanging out with them, and it felt so good. I just relished in it. So I understand that concept. Why? I've experienced it. Sorry. That's why. If you're a grandparent And when you see your grandkids and they light up, that's the beauty. That's what I rather say. Okay, that's love. Okay. This is the piece of what? Your higher self. Your real true self, not the ego self. So understand that we're trying to get past the ego. And how you do that? Raise your conscious level without being lower level thinking, negative, bad, arrogant. All those are negative qualities that bring you down to what? That level. Okay? Raise your level. Positive thinking. I got my buddy who said, I'm a positive thinker. Oh, okay. Right thinking. You never heard me put myself down. Even when I was doing wrong, still stayed on top of my game. Okay. Feel good about yourself and whatever you're doing. Again, even if it's wrong. But hey, he respect you for that. I do. If I don't agree with what you're doing, I don't subscribe to it. That don't mean it's bad or wrong. Just mean I don't subscribe to it. Same thing with mine. You ain't got to agree like what I'm doing. It may not be for you, but that don't make it right or wrong. Moving on. Move. See the time. I got to get this thing. I got a whole bunch of stuff. Let me get this out the way. Now, concentration. There's a concentration exercise that in the beginning we call it slowness meditation. Means you take your time. Ain't no rush. Nobody you ain't trying to prove. Ain't no time thing. Again, watch this. So you call it slowness meditation as well as what? The practice of some people like to chant and watching your breath. That's important. Breathing is important. I know how to breathe. We all think we do. Again, we all think a lot. And I'm about to do a lesson on thought. If I hear another, thought without reason or action is a waste of time. So I'm going to put that in there. I hate that I thought. You must didn't know. Get knowledge. Stop thoughting. Now, where we at? Okay. Watching your breath. Being in a comfortable position. All those things is important. Why? If you're not comfortable, you can't give it a few minutes in before you start feeling uncomfortable. That's why you see most of them sitting in the lotus position. I sit in my chair in an upright position, be comfortable, and let it go. Okay. You had 3 good exercises. What are they? For beginners, you got to learn to control your mind. Again, this thing right here. And eventually what happened? You will not need to practice what that basic concentration. Why? Because you will have gained the ability to what? Focus your mind at will. Now you're getting in control. Hello. I don't think bad thoughts. Why? I can control that. That's what meditation does for you. And learning that will get you more master the art of what you're trying to do yourself and the meditative concept. Now, also, watch this. Don't forget that the more harmony and peace that you foster where in your daily life, what'll happen? The closer you will be to what? Discovering again your higher true self. God ain't up there. He's up here. You got to discover him by getting knowledge and understanding and living righteous and virtuous, and he'll make himself known to you. Watch this, if you live in such a manner, which is righteous and virtuous, which reduces what? Your worry, what'll happen? You will hasten your steps in spiritual practice by getting closer to what? You're reaching reaching Nihas. Makadu is one of the steps you got to go through also. Purifying your heart and having the mind working as one. Okay? Speaking truth, honesty from the heart. And watch this. So therefore, do not become involved in nonsensical situations, which what? Will lead to what's wasting mental energy. Doing a bunch of stuff that don't mean you no good is just that, wasting your energy. Put your energy where it's something positive, where you can benefit from the effort that you put forth, that you can get something out. That's a fair deal. If you just putting stuff out, ain't getting nothing in return, that's a one-way deal. You're being drained, played, used, whatever you want to call it. We call it being played on the streets. But somebody getting something from you, you didn't get nothing from them, you a fool. Do not, okay, perfect, let's segue. Do not argue with others over trivial nonsense, politics, religion, and most important, belief. Do not engage in idle talk, meaning it's going nowhere. What you believe, what I believe, your belief ain't gonna change mine, mine ain't gonna change yours. That's a wasted conversation. Do not gossip. I hate gossip. I don't care about he said, she said, who shot John. Could care less what's going on down the street, around the corner. Why? I'm busy doing me. If you were doing that, you would be doing the same thing too, and you wouldn't know about it either. People bring information to you. No, I bring good news. Nobody wants to talk to me. But if I brought a bunch of gossip and nonsense, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Sorry about that. Got a little personal there, but I just don't like that nonsense. Gossip or engage in what? Entertainment, which engenders restlessness and gives you agitation and what? In the of the mind. I don't want to have to worry about a bunch of nonsense that don't serve me. What somebody doing and ain't doing don't help me one bit. I like to read a book. I like to get information. I'm on my YouTube. I'm finding stuff that I can use. That's just me. Again, getting personal. Back up. The best part, what's this? The best of your ability, what? To the best of your ability, try to do those things. Cut them out and you'll start seeing a change in what? The people you be around, the people you associate with, what? But they're going to start dropping off. Like the falcon, you're starting to rise. The blackbirds, all those are blackbirds. Get them off your back. Why? Rise above it. To your best ability, watch your thoughts. Again, words and deeds. Before I come out my mouth, I done thought about what's gonna come out my mouth. Before I do an action, I done thought about the action and what it's gonna lead to. So these are things that you got total control over. But we play Monday morning quarterbacks after we do something stupid and dumb. Well, I thought, or I should. Well, no, it's too late now. You should have done that when it was time. Being smart is doing what you need to do when you need to do it, not realizing what you did was wrong. That ain't smart at all. That's dumb. Sorry about that again. Pull it back. I see the clock. Let me knock this out. Let me get out of here. Where we at? Always be conscious to your best ability to watch your thoughts, your words, and deeds. Why? Keep busy. How? Working on worthwhile goals like yourself, gaining knowledge of self, understanding self. All these things you can do for you. Don't waste it on somebody else. Moving on. Which will what? You want worthwhile goals, which will promote your success as well as what? Harmony in the world. As long as I'm doing, I could care less about the world. The world gonna be there. It's gonna do what it does. It don't need me. It don't miss me. I found that out when I went to prison a long time ago. So I'm not beat for all that. No, no, no. I look at the news every now and then, catch what's going on. But I could care less about all that nonsense. Trust me. Moving on. And if you were doing you would too. But to seek the company, and it's important, right thinkers, seek the company of what? A righteous individual. It's hard to find good people. It's hard to find good people. I'm saying that again. I ain't getting to the concept of religion. I'm just talking about a good person in general. I ain't talking about your religion you profess. I ain't talking about your no. I'm just talking about as an individual. It's hard to find good people. So stay in the company of a righteous individual. If possible, share the company of an authentic, not a wannabe, not a fake be, but an authentic spiritual perspective. So, a sage or a saint, guru, this is known as what? The initiatic way of education. And I just initiated you into the right thing a while ago. So now I'm giving you lessons that you can use to what? Better yourself to what? Know thyself. The whole goal as a right thing is to know thyself. I'm going to get this last part in and I'm going to let you go. But I got more for you. So let's go. Wrapping it up. I use the initiatic way of education, and it is the most. Why did I use it? Because it's the most effective way to promote spiritual knowledge and spiritual evolution. Growth spiritually what? With spiritual knowledge and using spiritual disciplines and manifesting the things that you need to do to get things you want done for you. I got the book. It says Seed Initiation to Egyptian Yoga. We was in that book a little while ago. I just switched over. Then you got the Secrets of Shita and the audio. I don't get into that. But then you got the Initiatic Way of Education, again, by my teacher, Muata Ashby. For more on this initiatic process, I did all that. Now we enter meditation. I'm about to wrap it up. As you begin your practices in meditation, you should not, understand this, pressure put pressure on yourself to achieve results in a certain amount of time. I've been practicing this over 10 years as a yogi, practicing self meditation, all that. So it ain't gonna happen overnight. And this attitude will be just another what? Mental thought, which will what? Will block. Thoughts that have no foundation, no justification is a waste of time. They have no what is that? Thoughts which will block your progress. Why? They got no validity because it will cause, you ready? Mental agitation. But I thought, every time you tell them something, I thought, what would stop thoughting? It's not good. Right thinking. Try it. You should hold the attitude what? That you will practice meditation when daily. How long? Indefinitely until you master it. Why? Because you know that somehow it will benefit you and what? Lead you where? Further along the path to attaining spiritual enlightenment. My better phrase is to know thyself. So let us begin with the concentration practice. I'm about to take you that in the next lesson. So in this one, I'm going to stop right now. And in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100, me 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you have passed away. I'll be back.